Ladies and gentlemen, now this week I've been having a little bit too much fun with the brand new stealth suit version of Spider-Man. You know, we've probably done about 500 videos on this character in the last 7 days, and I don't regret any of them, man. They've all been really fun. However, today we went, you know, the full mile. I've taken this dude not only up to rank 5, but also SIG 200 as well. So this is a fully maxed out 5-star version of Spider-Man. We got the full signature ability, which grants 40% bonus to our Furies. Now today we've got so many amazing fights and matchups which really showcase the utility of Spider-Man's stealth suit, but I wanted to show you guys the damage first against Realm of Legends Rhino, because this is the fight, man. We have the class advantage, we have the Nick Fury team synergy here, also with Electro, Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket. However, we are not using any boost at all, so you can get even more damage output than this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this champion with boost some point in the near future, but we don't have any of those on for any of the fights that you're going to see today. So we've got the Fury, we've got the crit, and we're just kind of building up to the special 2 now to place the vulnerability, which increases crit damage. So at this point, man, we've got everything for mega damage, and the damage really does start to ramp up. You can see there we're dealing just over 12k across our final medium, and the light attacks are coming in just under 8,000 there. So, you know, he's got some pretty nice damage. Rhino's dropping fairly quick. It does take a special 1 and special 2 really to build up the damage on Spider-Man's stealth suit, but once you got the vulnerability and crit, then you're having a really good time, man. The damage output is just absolutely phenomenal. The crits are so reliable on this dude as well, because the crit buff gives you like an absolutely ridiculous amount of crit, especially with the Electro synergy. It's something like 10,000 crit rating. It really is just absurd. So yeah, that was Realm of Legends Rhino down in 95 hits, and again, a thing to consider about Spider-Man's stealth suit as well is that his standard combo is 7 hits, and even his shortened combo is 6 hits as well, so the hit counter is a little bit inflated. So judge it kind of by the gameplay and really time on the kills, and the time on the kills is very efficient, just over a minute. So yeah, he's just an absolute beast, man. He's got some really nice damage output. I love his animations once you really get into playing this champion and get used to them, because again, he's a little bit different in terms of the way that he moves and also his combo structure. But as soon as you get used to how he flows and also how to connect on special attacks as well, he's just really satisfying to play. And it is like he's a flying ninja, man. He is just flinging about all over the place, and it feels so much fun. I'm really excited for like 3.5 months time when this dude is in the basics, so people are going to be pulling this champion as their very first 4 or 5-star character, and then I think it's going to be about 4 and a bit months before he enters the 6-star basic pool. So some people in the future, man, are going to be getting Stealth Suit Spider-Man as their very first 6-star champion, and that, you know, makes me tremendously happy, because he's a really good champion. Doesn't need to be awakened, but does gain, you know, a nice chunk of damage from his awakened ability. I can certainly appreciate it, but even without his awakened ability, he's still got access to all his utility and everything else, and his utility can be incredibly useful for all sorts of matchups. Now, I wanted to showcase Spider-Man's stealth suit against the most stacked version of Thing that I could find in Act 6, so this is the one in Act 6 Chapter 2.6, the very final quest, the highest PI one, and this thing has about 220,000 hit points. So yeah, he is a really stacked one. You can see he's a 6-star champion with just over 40,000 power index there. So against Thing, as long as you can keep up the slow, and it's fairly easy to do, you just need to make sure you kind of preload it and also end your combos on a light to refresh it every time it's about to expire, and try and build up to that special 2 as fast as possible. As long as you can do that, man, it is a pretty damn good time. I don't really know many other champions that make Thing look this easy, because you can just completely ignore all of his mechanics and just beat into him. And because you've got this huge increase to your crit and also damage, you know, you're absolutely tearing through this man. So yeah, it's just a really quick and efficient matchup. Works really well. And you know, you still have a little bit of damage reduction with a protection triggering now and again, but still 74 hits for an almost 220k Thing. So that is decent. I would say overall, Spider-Man's stealth suit, if I'd say one matchup that defines this champion, it really is Thing. Like, Thing is just made to be absolutely dominated by Spider-Man, but he matches up quite well against a lot of different science champions. Yesterday, we showcased he's really good for Void as well, but I also have an even better Wasp matchup today in the video a little bit later on. One slightly interesting thing that has just popped into my head is that he's a really good thing counter, but also his slow has a unique effect to Spider-Man, which is it can ignore invisibility while it's active. So he's the only champion out of the characters that have slow that can do this, so this makes him actually a really good counter for Invisible Woman as well, and also he has a synergy with Iron Man Infinity War, which while you're slowing the opponent, you reduce the ability accuracy of Incinerate and also shock effects, which also makes him a Human Torch counter. So Stealth Suit Spider-Man does actually counter all of the Fantastic Four members in the game so far, so you know, just something that popped into my head there. Invisible Woman is still fairly new, so I couldn't find like a stacked enough version of her to test out Stealth Suit Spider-Man with, but I believe in the future, once we see a little bit more of her, man, Stealth Suit Spider-Man is going to be one of the best options for dealing with the Invisible Woman. Now back to this Red Hulk matchup, we've managed to generate the Fury and also the crit, so we've got really the damage going. Now we just need the extended vulnerability off of a special to kind of really hammer that damage home and get the crit damage as well. So every Spider-Man matchup is, you know, fairly straightforward. He's quite an easy champion to play, especially in comparison to a lot of the newer champions that come out nowadays, because you just need to get the Fury up, you need to get the crit off via the special one, and also the vulnerability, and those are all, you know, fairly straightforward to do, man, via the buffs, and once you have those, you're just dealing some crazy damage, and you can really lay into the opponent. So yeah, we're going to finish off here with a double medium, and then into a special one. Look at that 15k finish on the Red Hulk there, very nice, and I do quite like his victory animation of doing a cheeky little backflip. It's definitely, you know, got a little bit of finesse to it, I quite like it. Now next up is another really good matchup for Spider-Man's Stealth Suit, which is Juggernaut. So this is the Spite Limber Juggernaut from Act 6, Chapter 1, Quest number 2. So as long as we can keep slow up, then Juggernaut has no means to activate his Unstoppable. So yeah, it makes Juggernaut matchups really fun, because you can just dodge the special one and go straight back in there. Also, this quest has a node where for every 10 hits on the combo meter, you get a little bit more crit damage, but also for every like 15 hits, you need to throw a special or you start to degenerate. So we did take a little bit of damage from that mechanic there, but overall, like a really good Juggernaut counter, man. Absolutely slayed that lad. One fight that I really want to see this Spider-Man against is the Labyrinth of Legends Juggernaut, just to see if he can hold up and, you know, take that fight down, because Juggernaut is, you know, one of the most annoying bosses in Labyrinth of Legends, because as soon as he gains Unstoppable, I don't think you can remove it aside from a heavy attack. So yeah, it's just really annoying to deal with. This Hulk Ragnarok here, I was a little bit confused as to how he got rid of my vulnerability debuff. This is the one in the final quest of Act 6 Chapter 2, but as long as we have a slow debuff, then he shouldn't be able to go unstoppable. So that means we can retaliate right after smash attacks, and we don't need to worry about him being unstoppable for that. So as long as we've got slow, we can just go straight in after the specials, which is a very good time. So here we've built up to the special 2, we fire that off, get a couple of 12k crits on that one, dodge the smash, go straight back in, double medium there, get another parry, and we finish that man off. So that matchup started out a little bit shaky, but we managed to pull it back in the end. So Stealth Suit Spider-Man wins again. Really nice matchup. Next up, we've got one of my favorite matchups that I've ever recorded in the game. So this is Spider-Man Symbiote on an Aspect of War node. So he's got Unstoppable, he's going to have Evade, he has 50 seconds before he goes unblockable here, and also there's the Life Cycle node, which means you need to knock them down before you can knock them out. So he managed to dodge the special one there, he's got Evade, but because we got slow applied, we don't need to worry about that. Cheeky little backdraft, straight back in, we apply the slow again, so we've got even more uptime on the evade miss now. So yeah, doing really well. Managed to dodge a special 2, go straight back in, ignore the evade, we go for a cheeky little heavy intercept with a special 2 and take that man down. So that was, again, one of my favorite matchups, man. It was so damn clean. And that Symbiote Spider-Man, he had about 140k, so that, you know, it turned out alright, man. Turned out alright. But next up, we've got All or Nothing Thor Ragnarok, and I thought this one was cool just because, you know, we managed to deal enough damage before we died on this one. However, if you do have access to the Iron Man synergy as well, what you can do with Thor Ragnarok is tank the special 3, and then you don't take any shock damage after, which is a really good time. So yeah, we showcased that synergy on the rank 4 video the other day, but here we just kind of had enough damage to burst this man down before he managed to get to a special 3. So yeah, that was just a really nice little swift matchup from Stealth Suit Spider-Man. Next up, we got a couple of fights from the Destructive Feedback chapter of Act 6. Now this one is the one with a yellow shield, and this is going to absorb all of the damage that the opponent is taking, and if they hit you, then you're going to be dealt all of the damage back. However, if it expires, then they take all of the damage dealt to them. So the essential rule is, you know, don't get hit while the yellow shield is active, or you're going to get absolutely wrecked. However, Spider-Man's Stealth Suit, really fun here, super effective option as well, just because he's laying into the opponent, dealing so much damage, and if you pair him with Nick Fury as well, or just even have his base evade, you've kind of got this little safety buffer if an intercept does fail. So yeah, just makes for a really easy takedown on the Destructive Feedback Yellow Jacket there. Another couple of matchups where Spider-Man's Stealth Suit really does shine are these kind of small chance to evade champions, so matchups like Black Widow, and also the Stark enhanced version of Spider-Man. Stealth Suit Spider-Man can be really good for, so we did mess up, you know, a little bit at the start, take a fair bit of damage there, but we've got the slow on Black Widow now, so I'm just trying to get this fight back as quickly as we possibly can. We did take a little bit of a beating there, mate, lost 61% of our hit points. However, you know, it's Act 6, man. If you slip up, especially in this chapter, you can get wrecked very easily. A little bit of a shortened double medium combo there, just to apply the slow with 250% additional duration. This basically means we got Black Widow locked down on her evade for the rest of the fight, as long as we can refresh that once, and it's really easy to refresh, especially once you got that 250% increased duration. So yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic to remove that, you know, very small chance at evade, which has dicked me over on many occasions just completely from the fight, because I'm sure we've all died very frustratingly to Black Widow at some point. So yeah, I like his ability to counter evade. I don't think it works too well in certain scenarios, like against champions like Spider-Man. There are definitely better counters in the form of True Strike, because to apply Spider-Man's slow, you do need to end a combo on a light attack, which, you know, it can be difficult for an opponent not to evade a full combo, so he's certainly not the best, but he does work, you know, in some way or shape or form, and if you can get a special 2 off or end a combo on a light and shut the opponent down, then it's very easy to control from there. But we did a really good matchup against this variant Carnage, man. This one is going so well. 28 hits here. I love that one, man. That was so quick. It was so clean. After doing that matchup, I think I generally have one of those moments I was like, yeah, that was a sick matchup. But yeah, I just had a little bit too much fun with that. That was a really good one. I did want to test this guy out against Iron Man Infinity War, just to see if he could hold up and if he was going to be any good for this matchup, because the Iron Man in variant is a little bit of a pain in the ass, because you can only bring in skill and mutant champions, and there aren't that many solutions when it comes to the skill and mutant class that, you know, really good options for fighting Iron Man. And Stealth Suit Spider-Man, he works alright, but I think you really start to feel his lack of block proficiency toward the end of it, so if you want to have a bit of a better time than I did on this one, you need to be a little bit better at intercepting than I am. I think also comparatively, the Stark enhanced version of Spider-Man is a bit of a better Iron Man Infinity War matchup, just because you can use the special 2 with the shock to really easily get down that final phase, whereas the Stealth Suit version doesn't have any damage over time. So, you know, I wouldn't say he's as good, but he still works quite well, especially with all the additional crit chance. You know, we just blew through most of the final 15% there, and when we use our heavy attack, we've got a very high chance to crit and just knock this dude out anyway. So yeah, we bait our heavy attack, heavy counter there, and there we go, straight in the bin. After playing Stealth Suit Spider-Man extensively, I do think this champion has his uses and he's really fun to play. However, overall, if I had to pick one Spider-Man to have, it would probably still be the Stark Enhanced version. The assisted evade on the specials, the power drain on the heavy, and also the shock damage on the special 2 are all mechanics that I really do miss. Also, one of the things of Stealth Suit Spider-Man is I really wish they had something with his heavy attack, because it doesn't have like any sort of bonus effect. yet. You know, it looks pretty cool, but I wish it did something like power drain or control or apply some sort of debuff, or you could use it to apply web cartridges or reload them. So yeah, I kind of just wish the heavy attack did something a little bit interesting, man, because the Stark Enhanced version, you've got utility on absolutely everything. I think in comparison, Stealth Suit Spider-Man does feel a little bit lacking, but saying that as well, there are certain matchups and scenarios where you will want to play Stealth Suit Spider-Man over the Stark Enhanced version, like the slow debuff can be incredibly valuable, and the fact that he's one of the first champions to completely counter miss as well, and be able to do it quite easily and just refresh that, I think that is going to be an interesting mechanic to keep your eye on in the future, because as we see more stacked versions of champions like Darkhawk, Ebony Maw, Invisible Woman, you know, all these super fun champions of invisibility, also Mysterio as well, I think that's going to be more and more of a valuable mechanic. So yeah, I expect some interesting stuff in the future from Stealth Suit Spider-Man, but this Wasp matchup was a really fun time, man. We absolutely denied her on that first heavy attack, went straight in for the foam, managed to get the slow ups. That's a really, really good time, and yeah, we just absolutely dominated this last hit. 26 hits, variant Wasp, straight in the bin, boys. Stealth Suit Spider-Man as well does have an Innovate web cartridge that you can load, but it has a very, very, very short duration of 3.7 seconds, so it's not practically that useful. I don't really understand why it's so short. You can't really properly power control champions, but if you play quite aggressively and have quite a stacked version, then it can get you through some fights like this magic one here, but yeah, as soon as you're out of web cartridges, mate, you're out of luck, so I don't really know about that one. I've even tested trying to build up to the Special 2 to get the 250% increased duration, but it's still not really enough when it comes to the Innovate, so the Innovate, it just doesn't really seem that useful. I'm sure it'll probably have its like quirky and unique uses at some point in the future, but yeah, I'm not really sold on it. It should have at least double duration in my opinion. I don't really see the reason why it is so short in terms of duration. Like, it kind of does baffle me a little bit, but anyway, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the end of today's Stealth Suit Spider-Man Rank 5 video. If you did enjoy it, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated, and let me know if you want to see any more Stealth Suit Spider-Man gameplay in the comments section below. I might do a video or two at the weekend, maybe diving into Labyrinth of Legends or going deeper into Realm Legends. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.